So there I was in the back of the school bus by myself thinking, you can do this, Obed. This is your first day of third grade. New city, new school. This is it. It's your chance. You can finally reinvent yourself. Don't be afraid, Obed. This is it. Just think about it. What's the worst thing that could happen? Well, a lot. Because the town I just moved to, Frederick, was also known as Fred Neck. And when I walked into that classroom that first day, I realized that not only was there a lack of diversity, I was the diversity. And within that sea of Trevors and Tylers was me, Obed Fabrizio Molina, the Guatemalan American kid with the weird name. Talk about a hard sell. Thanks, Mom. So, immediately I went in and thought, okay, this is the plan. I'm gonna go undercover and I'm just gonna fit in. I just need to be a normal third grader, be like everyone else. And for 2 weeks, it worked. It's crazy. And I was fitting in, and one day in class, I was sitting like a normal third grader, not paying attention, when the door opened up and came in Mrs. Green, a teacher's aide. She walked in and asked, is there an Obed Molina here? Can you please come with me? Upon hearing that, I was in horror because I saw the whole classroom looking at me going, oh, Obed's in trouble. And I just thought, no, Mrs. Green, I was blending in. But I got up and followed her because I'm an obedient kid. And as I was walking down the hallway, I was trying to piece it together. Where is she taking me? And then it hit me. Mrs. Green's taking me to the principal's office because I can see the office door from the right of her shoulder. And with every single step we took from there, I went into a deeper and deeper mini existential third grade crisis until she turned left. And I realized, no, she's not taking me to the principal's office, but she's taking me to this small classroom that I'd never seen before. Mrs. Green opens up the door, and inside I see a small round table with 2 students. I thought it was pretty weird, but I went to go sit down, and Mrs. Green shut the door, went to the front of the classroom, and began to reveal the reason why I was there. Mrs. Green goes, students, I'm just so excited because we have a new person in our class today, and we just want to make them feel very welcome. Well, why don't we start by introducing ourselves? Let's start with our current 2 students, pointing to the 2 of them. One was braver than the other and stood up and began to introduce himself. Hi, my name is Han. I'm from China. I live here 8 months. Wow, great job, Han, great job. Okay, honey, why don't you go next? Hola, hi. My name is Angela. I'm from El Salvador. I live here 1 year. Yeah, wow. Great job, Angela, great job. Students, my heart is just heavy and excited because I just want to welcome Obed Molina to the class and make him feel very welcome here in English as a second language. ESL. ESL, I mean, mind you, this wouldn't be an issue if you ignore the fact that I already speak English. Mrs. Green, is this a joke? I mean, I was born in this country. Did she not know that I'm the white boy of the family? Like, when Christmas rolls around, I get presents from Santa Claus, not El Niño Jesus. Side note, yes, baby Jesus does deliver presents to Latin America. You're welcome, the more you know. But Mrs. Green, she's a teacher. She knows what she's doing, right? I think. I'm just not going to say anything, and maybe this will fizzle away. Well, the next day, Mrs. Green brought me back there. And then again the next day. And before I knew it, days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. And I'm in the deep end of the pool because I'm in ESL learning about shapes and colors and names of the family. But I'm killing it because I know all the answers. I am a genius in this class. I mean, I'm Mrs. Green's brightest, smartest, most outspoken student ever. And I'm loving it. I mean, one time, Mrs. Green just threw a softball question. She was like, students, I have a hard one for you today. Who was the first American president? And I just threw my hand up and said, I know the answer. The first president was George Washington. Wow, Obed, you know English so well. Yeah, I do. And, well, I was doing awesome, and I even went as far to get a gold medal. I mean, I got this gold thing that said ESL Achievement 2001, and I would wear it in class, and, you know, just feel real good about myself, go home, look in the mirror, move around in it, you know, looking good. But I'd make sure to hide it from my mom, because deep down in my heart, I knew I didn't belong in ESL. ESL was going great until my mom went to a parent-teachers conference. She came home furious. I don't know if you know much about Guatemalan mothers, but they're somewhat like the Hulk. You won't like them when they're angry. So she came busting through the door and just confronted me going, Mijo, are you in ESL? Oh no, she found out. See, mommy, I'm in, Mijo, what are you doing in ESL? See, mommy, it's an understanding. See, I'm in ESL. No, you do not belong in ESL. Mijo, you barely speak Spanish. What are you doing in ESL? No, mommy, it's just a misunderstanding. No, Mijo, we're gonna go right now to the principal's office and we're gonna take you out of ESL. Mommy, no, don't do that. They don't leave me homework. But she went, and she did take me out of ESL. And for the rest of that year, I was just a normal student again, just filling in the middle of the pack. Until I went up to 4th grade, and I was sitting in class again one day, not paying attention. When the door opened up and Mrs. Green came in, asked, can I have Obed Molina come with me to 4th grade ESL? I guess she didn't get the memo. In that moment, I had 2 options. I could stand up against Mrs. Green and go against authority and do what is right, or I could just listen and do as I'm told, as I had always done. So I got up, and I started to take a step towards Mrs. Green. But before I could do that, something inside me compelled me not to. Take a step back, stand up real straight, look her in the eyes, and say, Mrs. Green, I'm not going to ESL because I already speak English. And more importantly, my mom says I don't have to. And I turned around and I sat down to never go back to ESL again. And for many years, I hadn't really thought much of this story, except for the occasional time my dad would bring it up saying, hey, mijo, remember that one time you learned English in 3rd grade? And I would laugh about it and brush it off. But recently, I found out that a major reason why I was placed in ESL was a 2001 George W. Bush policy called No Child Left Behind. I know. And upon hearing that, it made me real angry. Just a part of me was angry. But then again, another part of me thought, well, it's nice that good old W didn't want to leave me behind. Thank you.